Many say motorbikes are a part of Vietnam's culture. Ever since the first motorbikes were imported, the lives of local people have centered around them. And for tourists visiting Vietnam, few things are more adventurous, more authentic, and more Vietnamese than traveling around the country with a motorbike. To many, this was an unforgettable memory and an opportunity not to be missed.
Now I know what some of you may be thinking. You don't know much about Vietnam. You've never ridden a bike before. So how do you start your own motorbike trip? Well, fear not, because today in this edition of Timeout, I will show you everything you need to know in order to start your own motorbike adventure in Vietnam.
The most important thing before taking any motorbike trip is making sure you are legal. Vietnam now accepts International Driving Permit or IDP, so if you have one of those for motorbikes, you are good to go. If you don't have a license, however, you can still ride a 50cc bike with no problems. Once you've got all the papers, it is time to find a motorbike.
I am on Chua Ha Street, which is also known as the Motorbike Street of Hanoi. This is where you can find thousands of bikes for only as cheap as $200.
Today we're visiting Ming's Motorbike Rental and Sales Shop, a popular destination for backpackers. Ming has been running the place for years.
I have many kind of motorbike, like the manual, semi-automatic, automatic. That means scooter. Many kind for the foreigner. Scooter in city is the number one. So either for the experienced man, he can use the manual or semi-automatic because it's very reliable and stronger enough for to come up the hill on the route of Vietnam.
So if I want a bike that can go all around Vietnam, it's cheap and also reliable, what would you recommend?
For me, I think it's better is to ride the manual like the wind. Because the wind is strong enough, reliable, it's easy to fit everywhere. Climb the hill very smooth.
With his advice, I decided to go for a Honda Wind. It has a luggage rack to put my backpack on and is only $250. Each bike comes with a registration paper, bungee cords, and a free helmet. Now that I've got a bike, it is time for the second step, shopping for gears. There are many places around Hanoi where you can find what you need for your trip. But the place that you can find everything gathered is Thi Yên Street, aka the city's flea market. The vendors sell everything, from old to new. You may be able to find some very nice things at a bargain price, but negotiating is a must. For a bike trip, you will need some basic repair tools, something to carry and cover all your stuff when it rains. So after a lot of walking around and a lot of haggling, here's what we managed to find. A tool bag for $15. A raincoat for 50 cents. A tire repair kit for $5. A saddlebag for $15. And a used tent for $10. In total, everything costs less than $50, which I think is a fair price. I'm practically done preparing. The last part is finding out where to go. I head to a motorbike tour service called Viet Trails, who takes tourists on motorbike trips for a living. They will be able to recommend some good locations around Vietnam, starting from the top.
Miền Bắc chúng ta thì có rất nhiều điểm đến. Tuy nhiên Hà Giang là một trong những điểm rất là tuyệt vời. Buổi sáng sớm thì sương mù bao phủ toàn bộ rừng núi rồi con đường chúng ta đi. Và sương tan thì ánh nắng mặt trời chiếu xuống thì nó hiện lên một phong cảnh rất là đẹp, hữu tình. Về phía miền Trung hoặc là miền Nam, họ cũng có những cái đặc sản riêng. Đặc sản về văn hóa, đặc sản về phong cảnh. Thì với tôi thì đèo Hải Vân là một trong những con đèo tuyệt vời nhất mà chúng tôi đã từng trải nghiệm. Trong năm qua thì bọn tôi cũng đi mấy chuyến xuyên Việt. Thì chúng tôi cảm nhận được là Hải Vân là một trong những cái đèo rất là tuyệt vời, rất là đẹp.
There are many other beautiful sights all across Vietnam. Minh recommends taking the Ho Chi Minh Trail instead of the National Highway to see them all. With fewer people, it's much easier to find a quiet place to set camp and enjoy the motorbike trip like it was meant to be.
Các bạn đi mà các bạn có thể dừng lại bất cứ chỗ nào các bạn muốn, các bạn ăn bất cứ cái đặc sản nào mà các bạn muốn khám phá, rồi các bạn thậm chí trải nghiệm ở trong những cái nhà dân rất là tuyệt vời. Ở đó nó có những cái sự hiếu khách và rất là ấm lòng với tình người. Thì đó là ý nghĩa của những cái chuyến phượt.
Vuong also gave me some tips for the trip, like changing the engine oil every 300 kilometers, how to adjust the carburetor, and told me to always drive safely. If your bike is well maintained, you can sell it back after the trip and even make a profit. It doesn't take a lot to prepare for a motorbike trip. Both the bike and I are ready to set out for our own adventure. Those were all the advices we have. The rest is up to you. So what are you waiting for? Come to Vietnam and enjoy the beauty of this country yourself. See you next time on Timeout.